Hey Void, how you doing? I realized why I was having so much problems showing this off last time. The image is on this side, so I have to hold it in my left hand to display it, and I am not left-handed, so yeah. Well, still cool. Anyway, if you haven't guessed, I'm doing another Friday the 13th, which would be the remake. The Platinum Dunes remake circa 2009. Kind of divisive. A lot of people like this one, a lot of people don't. Some people just consider it another sequel, some a remake, etc, etc, etc. So, after watching it again, yeah, I'm gonna have to say I can't consider this one a sequel. I know I'm gonna sound hypocritical complaining about continuity in Friday the 13th. See my other videos as I point out that none of them make any goddamn sense trying to order it together. But this one, as it re-shows his mother's death, as well as him re-finding the mask, I can't really do that since he's doing the whole sackhead Jason thing again and finds the mask in a different manner. Also, the original one, he saw his mother killed about, I think it was like 10, 20 years after his mysterious death, his drowning death in the lake. In this one, he crawls out as a kid and witnesses the death, so it makes it make sense for it to be modern day, but because of that, it can't really fit into the other continuities. So, it's a remake, or reimagining. Either way, doesn't really matter. So, this movie, I'm kind of torn on, because there's a lot that works for it, and a lot that doesn't. The dialogue is hilariously bad, particularly from this one douchebag guy. I can't even remember his name, and I just saw the movie a couple days ago. I just keep wanting to call him Chet. He looks like a Chet. Anyway, he's the rich guy who owns the house that the main cast is partying at, and he's paranoid about them messing up the house, and yet anyway. So, essentially this follows another group of people being killed by Jason Voorhees. So, essentially, the beginning, it starts with some people on a camping trip. They're kind of looking for some weed that they know is on the property. And they know that the camp is nearby, but just happen to be camping in the wrong place, and they get Jasoned. Now, 6 months later, and we have a man looking for a sister. That man is Jared Padalecki. Welcome back. Good to see him. So, he's searching for his sister, who is one of the people from the opening scene. Now, I say opening scene because that takes place before the credits. But it's like 20 minutes long. It's like a mini movie in and of itself. So, props to that. I like that. Anyway. So he's putting up flyers, trying to find his sister. And he bumps into the rest of the cast, which are just going up to the lake to party at Rich Guy's house. Now, him and Rich Guy butt heads, but he kind of hits it off with Rich Guy's girlfriend, who is sympathetic to his missing sister, and they flirt a bit. Then that's pretty much what you expect happening. Some people. Then they go. Then he investigates for looking around with the help of the girl, while everyone keeps happening to bump into Jason and getting bumped off. Now, it's okay. And it plays out like a Friday the 13th movie. So, things I like, that long opening sequence works. Jason himself in this is very good. Derek Mears does a great job as Jason. And I actually met Derek Mears at a horror convention in Minnesota a long time ago now. But he was a really cool guy. It was cool to be able to meet him. But as Jason, he does a very good job. The look is great. He's got the physicality for it. My only complaint about the Jason in this one, and that's not on him, is just some shots, just because he's wearing, like a flannel and everything. It looks like he's just wearing what he woke up in to go to the door to get the paper. He looks like Jason just rolled out of bed in some scenes. Minor nitpick, because most of the ones he's lit pretty well. It's just in certain lighting that just kind of looks like he should be having fuzzy slippers on. Anyway. I also like some of the kills. Some of the kills are pretty well done. Particularly this one where he hangs someone up inside their sleeping bag over the fire in the opening sequence. That is a cool kill. Otherwise, for the most part, they're well done, but nothing standout-ish. Now, the bad things are the dialogue, including some infamously bad lines from the sex scene. This guy's lines about it, talking about her boobs, are just hilarious. But in a weird way, that almost adds to the enjoyment of the film. So, I watched the killer cut, which is about 15 minutes longer, 10 minutes longer. Now, I can't say exactly what they add, because I haven't actually watched the original version in a long time. I saw this in theaters back in 2009. I don't really know what was added, which is kind of good. It means it was pretty seamless. Apparently, they upped the sex and blood. I'll believe it, I just don't really know where it was. Other nitpick. The is almost entirely absent. They do it maybe 3 times in the movie. And it's just like a one-off, and then it's done. It just makes it not feel like a Friday the 13th without it going on. Now, I like kind of the woodsman Jason here, where he's got the traps rigged up and a bunch of things kind of done like that. So it adds realism back to the Friday the 13th series that has been lacking for a long time. And it kind of works in that area. So the movie, it's fun, but there's a few things that definitely don't work. Mostly dialogue in this case. Dialogue and just some minor tidbits. Also, the late 2000s soundtrack is just a late 2000s soundtrack. It's nothing special. But wow, the case just comes in so dark on that you can barely see that title. Anyway, it's not a bad film. For as far as a remake goes, it doesn't do the movie a disservice. Jason's well portrayed, even if the is absent. But overall, I had fun with it, and that's kind of what counts. So I'll give it 6 MacGuffins. So that's really all on the killer cut of Friday the 13th, 2009. So remake, but not a bad one. I mean, it's nowhere near as divisive as the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which is almost universally despised. I'll talk on that one, my thoughts on that one, when I actually get around to rewatching it. But I'll just say I didn't hate that movie. But this one is overall a much better done film. Of the big 3 remakes, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the strongest of the remakes. But this one wasn't bad. Alright, I'll end this one. Catch you later, Void.